Red Bull Racing, the dominant force in Formula One for the past few years, finds itself in a precarious position as we approach the 2025 season. The team that seemed invincible not too long ago is now facing a series of challenges that could potentially derail their championship aspirations. Let's explore why things have taken a turn for the worse for the Austrian outfit. Red Bull's 2024 campaign was a roller coaster ride. The season started with a bang as Max Verstappen clinched victory in 7 of the first 10 races. The RB20 was hailed as the class of the field, and it seemed like Red Bull was set for another year of utter domination. However, as we've learned time and time again in Formula One, fortunes can change rapidly. After Verstappen's 7th win at the Spanish Grand Prix, Red Bull hit a rough patch. The team endured a shocking 10-race winless drought, a stark contrast to their early season form. This sudden drop in performance can be attributed to the car's development trajectory and some key personnel changes. One of the most significant blows to Red Bull's technical team was the departure of Adrian Newey, widely regarded as one of the greatest designers in Formula One history. Newey's move to Aston Martin sent shockwaves through the paddock, and its effects were felt almost immediately. In an interview with Auto Motor and Sport, Newey shed light on the issues plaguing Red Bull even before. This admission raises questions about the team's development direction and their ability to maintain their competitive edge without Newey's guiding hand. Newey's departure isn't an isolated incident. The team has also lost other key personnel, including influential sporting director Jonathan Wheatley and chief strategist Will Courtenay. These exits have left Red Bull in a state of flux, forcing them to restructure their trackside operations for the 2025 season. Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, has been vocal about the challenges they faced with the RB20. He revealed that an upgrade introduced around the Imola Grand Prix made the car far more peaky in its performance, with a very narrow operating window. This characteristic made the car incredibly difficult to drive consistently, even for a driver of Verstappen's caliber. Horner explained, "When you got it into that window, the 4 straight laps in Austria, for example, that were all good enough for pole, it was very much in that window. If you stepped a millimeter either side of it, it became much more of a problematic car to drive, which Max was able to mask and drive around, and I think that's what hurt Checo Perez particularly. It's that window was so narrow." This narrow operating window not only affected the team's performance, but also highlighted the growing gap between Verstappen and his teammate, Sergio Perez. While Max could somehow extract performance from the difficult car, Perez struggled significantly, eventually leading to his replacement by Liam Lawson for the 2025 season. As Red Bull prepares for the 2025 season, their focus has shifted from outright performance gains to improving the car's drivability. Horner emphasized that the team's engineers have been working tirelessly over the winter to broaden the RB21's operating window. Horner stated, "And so I think what the engineers have been very much focused on over the winter is how you broaden that window. Not necessarily adding ultimate performance, but just broadening the window so that you've got, across the different challenges and circuits that we visit, a much wider operating window." This approach suggests that Red Bull is prioritizing consistency over peak performance, a strategy that could prove crucial in what's expected to be a highly competitive season. However, with McLaren and Ferrari making significant strides in their development programs, Red Bull's dominance is far from guaranteed. While Red Bull grapples with their immediate challenges, a potentially bigger threat looms on the horizon: the 2026 regulation changes. These new rules will bring about a significant shift in the sport's technical landscape, particularly in the power unit department. Red Bull Powertrains, the team's in-house engine division, will be tasked with developing their first Formula One power unit from scratch. This is a monumental undertaking, especially considering they'll be competing against established manufacturers like Mercedes, Ferrari, and Honda. Reports from Italian outlet Autosprint suggest that Red Bull is already facing performance and reliability concerns with their 2026 engine. The report states, "Performance and reliability concerns are emerging with the new Red Bull engine. Drawing conclusions would be premature, but it would not be a surprise if the Milton Keynes team are playing catch-up. While it's too early to draw definitive conclusions, these rumors have added to the air of uncertainty surrounding the team's long-term prospects. The challenge of developing a competitive power unit without any prior experience in this area cannot be overstated. Amidst all these challenges, the biggest question mark hangs over the future of Max Verstappen. The four-time world champion has been the linchpin of Red Bull's success, but his patience may be wearing thin if the team can't provide him with a competitive car. Verstappen's father, Jos, has been vocal about his son's need for a race-winning car. There have been whispers of potential moves to Mercedes or even the emerging Aston Martin team, where he could reunite with Adrian Newey. Christian Horner, however, remains confident in Verstappen's commitment to Red Bull. He stated, "He's recently made that statement that he loves working within the team and has every intention of doing so." But in the high-stakes world of Formula One, intentions can change quickly if results don't materialize. As we approach the 2025 season, Red Bull finds itself at a crucial juncture. The team's ability to address the RB20 shortcomings, successfully integrate new personnel, and lay the groundwork for the 2026 regulations will determine whether they can maintain their position at the pinnacle of Formula One. The increased wind tunnel time due to their third-place finish in the 2024 Constructors' Championship could be a double-edged sword. While it provides more development opportunities, it also highlights how far they've fallen from their dominant position. Pierre Wash, Red Bull's technical director, summed up the team's cautious optimism. He said, "It is potentially a big advantage for 2026, and I hope that we use it properly. That is not how it works in Formula One, but it could be an advantage, and we have to use it well. It is a positive aspect of our position, so it can be quite positive." Red Bull faces a delicate balancing act between focusing on the 2025 season and preparing for the radical changes coming in 2026. Wash elaborated on this challenge, saying, "The balancing act will depend massively on what you find as well. If you find a lot for 2026, then the temptation is there to put a lot of effort on 2026. But if we have a chance to fight for the championship in 2025, and I think we will, then you will never throw away a championship. It will be a difficult decision for sure. We will go with a strategy at the beginning of the season, and that strategy has a massive chance to change."
Radio check.
Yes, loading clip. Box.
Williams Racing has secured a game-changing partnership with tech giant Atlassian, injecting millions into the struggling team, and it's set to revolutionize their future. But this deal, combined with Santander's backing, could catapult Carlos Sainz into podium contention, transforming Williams from backmarkers to serious midfield threats. Is this the start of an epic comeback? Before we jump into the topic, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. This potential partnership marks a significant milestone for Williams, a team that hasn't tasted victory since 2012 and finished a disappointing 9th out of 10 teams in the 2024 Constructors' Championship. The injection of funds and technological expertise from Atlassian could be the catalyst Williams needs to climb back up the competitive ladder. Atlassian, the company behind popular project management software like Jira and Confluence, is no small player. With a multi-billion-dollar valuation, their involvement in Formula One signifies a major commitment to the sport and to Williams' future. The exact financial details of the deal haven't been disclosed, but industry insiders suggest it's a multi-million-dollar agreement that could rival some of the biggest sponsorships in F1. This new partnership comes hot on the heels of Williams' recent deal with Santander, announced shortly after the 2024 season finale in Abu Dhabi. The Spanish banking giant, which previously backed Ferrari during Carlos Sainz's tenure there, has now followed the Spanish driver to his new team. This double sponsorship coup demonstrates Williams' renewed ability to attract major corporate partners, a crucial factor in F1's high-stakes financial game. The team has been operating under significant financial constraints for years, which has directly affected their on-track performance. Limited resources have hampered their ability to keep pace with rapid technological advancements in areas like aerodynamics, material science, and data analysis. The 2024 season saw Williams struggling with an overweight FW46 car, costing them valuable lap time and performance. The Atlassian sponsorship could be the key to unlocking Williams' potential across several critical areas. First and foremost is aerodynamics, the lifeblood of modern F1 cars. With increased funding, Williams can invest in advanced wind tunnel testing and computational fluid dynamic simulations. This could lead to optimized front and rear wing designs, improved underbody aerodynamics, and more efficient side pods, all contributing to reduced drag and increased downforce. Weight reduction is another priority area where the new sponsorship could make a significant difference. Formula One cars operate on a knife edge when it comes to weight, with every gram potentially affecting performance. The influx of resources could allow Williams to explore next-generation carbon fiber composites, advanced alloys, and cutting-edge 3D printed components. These innovations could help create a lighter, more agile car without compromising structural integrity. Power unit integration and cooling systems are also likely to see improvements. While Williams uses Mercedes power units, how these engines integrate with the chassis can greatly impact overall performance. Efficient cooling systems, optimized energy recovery setups, and strategic exhaust placements are all areas where additional investment could yield significant gains. This is particularly crucial for races in hot climates like Bahrain and Abu Dhabi, where Williams has previously struggled with performance drops due to suboptimal cooling. In the data-driven world of modern F1, enhanced analytics capabilities could be a game changer for Williams. Atlassian's expertise in data management and collaborative tools could help the team streamline communication between engineers, strategists, and drivers. This could lead to more accurate pit stop timing, faster responses to changing track conditions, and overall improved race strategies. The technical improvements facilitated by the Atlassian deal dovetail perfectly with Williams' latest driver acquisition, Carlos Sainz. The Spanish driver, a four-time race winner, joins the team after a stellar 2024 season with Ferrari that saw him claim victories in Australia and Mexico. Sainz's move to Williams, announced last summer, was seen as a major coup for the team, who beat out competitors like Audi F1 and Alpine for his signature. Sainz's role in Williams' resurgence cannot be overstated. His recent test session at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya provided valuable feedback that is already shaping the team's development plans for the FW47, their 2025 challenger. Team principal James Valls praised Sainz's ability to pinpoint key areas for improvement, describing him as a vital part of the team's long-term success strategy. The partnership between Sainz and his new teammate, Alex Albon, is another exciting prospect for Williams. Albon, who showed flashes of brilliance despite Williams' limitations in 2024, stands to benefit greatly from Sainz's experience and technical knowledge. Their collaboration is expected to push the entire team to new heights, with both drivers working closely to ensure the car's development aligns with their needs and driving styles. As Williams gears up for the 2025 season, all eyes are on their car launch scheduled for February 14th at Silverstone. The team plans to showcase the FW47 in a special one-off livery, building anticipation for what could be their most competitive machine in years. This launch comes just 4 days before Formula One's first-ever collective season launch event in London, where all 10 teams and 20 drivers will be present. The timing of Williams' launch is significant, occurring before teams are allowed to showcase their permanent 2025 color schemes at the official season launch at London's O2 Arena on February 18th. This strategic move allows Williams to generate buzz around their new car and sponsorship deal while still adhering to F1's new launch regulations. Looking ahead to the 2025 season, expectations for Williams are cautiously optimistic. While it's unrealistic to expect them to challenge for championships immediately, the team is setting its sights on consistent points finishes and regular appearances in the midfield battles. With the right combination of technical improvements, strategic planning, and driver performance, occasional podium challenges are not out of the question. Since Williams' most recent victory at the 2012 Spanish Grand Prix with Pastor Maldonado, they've experienced a gradual decline, punctuated punctuated by brief periods of competitiveness. The 2025 season could mark the beginning of a new era for Williams, reminiscent of their dominant days in the 1980s and 1990s. The Atlassian sponsorship deal fits perfectly into James Vowles' long-term vision for Williams. Vowles, who took over as team principal in 2023, has been working tirelessly to rebuild the team's infrastructure and competitiveness. This high-profile partnership not only provides immediate financial benefits, but also signals to the wider F1 community that Williams is serious about returning to the front of the grid. The influx of resources and technological expertise from Atlassian could have a snowball effect, potentially attracting more sponsors and partners to Williams. In the hyper-competitive world of Formula One, success breeds success, and a resurgent Williams could become an attractive proposition for other companies looking to associate themselves with a team on the rise. The long-term implications of this deal extend beyond just the 2025 season. If Williams can capitalize on this opportunity and show significant improvement on track, it could mark the beginning of their journey back to the front of the grid. While it's important to temper expectations, Formula One is notoriously difficult, and progress is often measured in tenths of seconds. The potential for Williams to once again become a force to be reckoned with is tantalizing for fans of the sport. For Carlos Sainz, this move to Williams could prove to be a masterstroke. The partnership with Alex Albon adds another layer of intrigue as the two drivers push each other and the team to new heights. As we look ahead to the car launch at Silverstone and beyond to the start of the 2025 season, the excitement and anticipation continue to build. Will the FW47 live up to the hype? Can Williams capitalize on this opportunity and make significant strides up the grid? How will Carlos Sainz fare in his new environment? These questions and more will be answered in the coming months. The 2025 Formula One season promises interesting, and Williams' resurgence could be one of the biggest stories of the year. Lewis Hamilton, the seven-time world champion, has completed his crucial Pirelli tire test at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. Hamilton, Ferrari's new signing, shared driving duties with his new teammate Charles Leclerc in a modified version of Scuderia's most recent car, the SF24. This car, which secured 5 wins last year, was adapted specifically for the test to simulate the expected lower 2026 downforce levels. The test was part of Pirelli's extensive program to develop tires for the 2026 season, where F1 cars will be smaller, lighter, and equipped with narrower tires. Over the course of 2 days, Hamilton completed a total of 161 laps, equivalent to more than 2 Spanish Grand Prix race distances. This extensive running provided valuable data for both Ferrari and Pirelli. The test conditions were particularly challenging. The SF24 was stripped of a large portion of its aerodynamic support, creating a low downforce setup that made the car incredibly unstable at high speeds. This setup is notoriously difficult to manage, even for the most experienced drivers. However, Hamilton's performance under these extreme conditions was remarkable. On the first day of testing, Hamilton clocked a best time of 1 minute 15.930 seconds over 87 laps. While this was slightly slower than McLaren's Lando Norris, who set a time of 1 minute 15.215 seconds over 159 laps, it's important to note that the teams were running different programs as dictated by Pirelli. The second day saw Hamilton complete 74 laps with a fastest time of 1 minute 16.759 seconds. Engineers and observers at the circuit were impressed by Hamilton's calm and measured approach. Rather than pushing the car to its limits immediately, Hamilton focused on gradually increasing his pace, learning the car's new behavior under braking, corner exit, and mid-turn balance. Hamilton's feedback to the engineers was detailed. He reported that the rear of the car was particularly tricky to control, especially when accelerating out of slower corners like turn 10. Despite this, he praised the car's balance under braking, noting that the adjustments Ferrari had made to manage tire degradation were working as intended. The engineers were particularly impressed with Hamilton's sensitivity to tire performance. He provided precise observations on how the tires responded to both short and long runs, information that is crucial for Pirelli's development of the 2026 tires. This level of detailed feedback could give Ferrari a significant advantage in understanding how to optimize their car for the new regulations. Hamilton's performance in this test was even more impressive when compared to his previous outing in Ferrari's SF23. During that test, Hamilton had crashed on his second day, cutting short a crucial part of Ferrari's data collection plan. This time, however, Hamilton showed that he had learned from the experience, making subtle adjustments to his driving style to better suit the low downforce setup. The SF24 itself has been a major step forward for Ferrari. While it couldn't clinch the Constructors' Championship last season, it was a formidable challenger, with Leclerc and Carlos Sainz combining to secure 5 wins. The car showed significant improvements in cornering speed and tire degradation compared to its predecessor. For the Pirelli test, the SF24 had to be drastically altered. By stripping away downforce, Ferrari aimed to simulate what cars might feel like under the 2026 rules. This isn't just about making the car slower, it's about radically changing how it handles. Reduced downforce shifts more of the performance burden onto the tires, which become harder to maintain over long runs. Hamilton's strong performance under these conditions is a positive sign for Ferrari's future. If Scuderia can develop a car that performs well even with reduced aerodynamic grip, they could have a serious advantage once the new regulations come into effect, and having a driver of Hamilton's experience providing feedback only accelerates their progress. While the test was focused on 2026 tires, the data collected could also play a crucial role in shaping Ferrari's 2025 development strategy. Tire degradation and handling stability are issues that all teams will need to master to stay competitive. With Pirelli now armed with detailed insights from both Hamilton and Leclerc, the tire supplier can fine-tune its designs to better match the evolving needs of F1 teams. It's worth noting that Ferrari wasn't the only team present at the test. McLaren also participated, with Lando Norris driving on the first day and Oscar Piastri taking over on the second. Alpine was also present, conducting parallel tests with their own car. This highlights that the battle for supremacy under the 2026 regulations has already begun, with teams pushing to understand how to extract maximum performance from a new generation of machines. Pirelli's motorsport director, Mario Isola, provided valuable insights into the test. He stated, "It was a very useful session, particularly when it came to providing a comparison between the various different constructions for next season, as well as experimenting with some compounds from the harder end of the range." So, Isola continued, "The Barcelona circuit is known as one of the most demanding for the tires in terms of the energy exerted and degradation. Therefore, the information we have gathered over these 2 busy days will be very important for the future development of this generation of tires." The test program centered around the development of slick tires, with various combinations of construction and compound being tested. Specifically, Pirelli focused on the C1 to C3 compounds, which are well suited to the demands of the Barcelona circuit. The exact nature of the driver's runs and tire compounds used are not revealed for such Pirelli tests. On the second day of testing, Charles Leclerc set the fastest overall time of 1 minute 14.971 seconds over 74 laps. This creates an intriguing dynamic within the Ferrari camp, with both Hamilton and Leclerc showing exceptional pace and providing valuable feedback. The Barcelona test may be over, but the work is far from done. Pirelli has announced further tests at Jerez on February 13th to 14th, with Alpine set to participate on both days, while McLaren and Mercedes will each have 1 day of running. Following the official preseason testing in Bahrain, there will be another Pirelli tire test on March 2nd to 3rd, featuring Alpine and Williams. These additional tests will provide even more data for teams and Pirelli to analyze as they prepare for the dramatic changes coming in 2026. The new technical regulations for that year will make F1 cars smaller and lighter, with tires that are narrower by 25 millimeters at the front and 30 millimeters at the rear. The overall diameter of the tires will also shrink from the current 720 millimeters to a range between 705 and 710 millimeters while maintaining the 18-inch rims.